From Providence Park in Portland, Oregon, the first of our two NWSL semifinals. And we have a good one on hand for you here today as the Portland Thorns play host to San Diego Wave. With Casey Whitfield, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. What a dramatic weekend it was last week. Two late goals providing the advancement of Kansas City and of San Diego. And that is why this is our first matchup today. Of course, OL Reign and Kansas City will meet later on today. But as the players get set for first kick, we'll give you a look at today's starting lineups. And of course, this Portland Thorns side, their 8th trip to the NWSL playoffs, they have to be considered the favorites here today. Absolutely. They are an incredible squad, and they're just starting to click at the right moment. They know what to expect when it comes time to the playoffs, and so we're going to see if some of that veteran leadership is going to pay off for them. And looking at the starting lineups here today, we will start with this Portland Thorns side, and this is pretty much the normal 11 for Rian Wilkinson, although no Christine Sinclair. No Sinclair, but the person I have my eye on is Sam Coffey. She's going to be that defensive mid. She is extremely young. This is her first season with Portland, and she is a nominee for Rookie of the Year. She's a player that is very smart, a big leader on the field, even though she is young. She's going to really be orchestrating those front three players. And of course, Sophia Smith, what a season it was for her. 14 goals, a single season club record. Megan Klingenberg, some final words of encouragement for Portland. But on the other side for this San Diego team, of course, they had to get through the Chicago Red Stars last weekend. This is the 11 for Casey Stoney, just one change. And I feel like I could talk for days about Alex Morgan, but really the player that stands out to me is Jaden Shaw. She is, as of right now, the youngest player to play in the playoffs. It could change tonight, though, actually. Fun facts. But she's a player that has really come on strong for San Diego. She scored some goals, and she's got some really good players up top there to help and support her. And of course, Olivia Moultrie, she's the only younger player that could come on and make an impact here today. So we are ready to go. The sun has come out behind those clouds, and we are just about set to go. It is a beautiful afternoon in Portland, Oregon. Temperatures in the mid-50s Fahrenheit. And we are all set to go. Sophia Smith is standing over the ball. It's going to be Portland wearing all black, of course, with the red trim. In white today will be San Diego Wave. The first time we'll see Portland in the playoffs, of course, this year after the bye last week. And San Diego trying to follow up that 120-minute victory against the Chicago Red Stars, the team that, of course, eliminated Portland just last year. Our referee today is Kevin Broadley. He last took charge of Gotham versus Chicago last year in the quarterfinal round of the playoffs. Now he gets the whistle in this crucial first semifinal. These are two teams that are extremely strong and powerful offensively, but it's going to be, I think, starting out a little bit of a chess match because neither team wants to open up too much, but I think as the game goes on, this is going to play out to be a really exciting match. There is the whistle, and away we go. 90 minutes and maybe more if we need it. The first of two semifinals on this Sunday in the NWSL. The reason the Portland Thorns are the second seed is because last time out, which was the last day of the regular season, dropping points against Gotham, if they were able to get the full 3 points on the road against the bottom team in the league, they would have been the Shield winners. Instead, they settled for a 3-3 draw, and that allowed OL Reign, with their win over Orlando on decision day, to capture that Shield, and that's why they are the top overall seed. But early on, here's San Diego coming forward. Sauerbrunn there to clear that away. Portland trying to clear their lines here. Now it's Morgan to collect it, but she was coming back from an offside position, and the flag is up. Nicely dealt with there by Portland's good build-up play, though, from San Diego. They're playing a lot through Taylor Korniak there in the middle of the field. They talked about how Korniak is going to be a pivotal piece for San Diego. She kind of links the two, the back line and the front line together, so San Diego is going to be looking to build through her the majority of this match. Talked with Rian Wilkinson coming into play here today, and she said the season wasn't lost on that last day of the season against Gotham, although usually, I guess, in American sports and North American sports, you look at it based on playoffs. That's just how it goes. It's a lot different than internationally, but she does not want to lose the focus of what they were able to accomplish in the regular season, putting up 39 points, 10 wins on the season. It was still a fantastic year, even though they didn't get that top spot. They can still make a nice run in the playoffs. It starts here today.
One, and it honestly makes me think, is the top spot really that big of an advantage? Because the NWSL has proven this year to be such a tough league that really the seeding might not play as big of a factor as it might in other leagues, because any team on any given day can beat anybody.
Especially with the top 2 seeds, and then they only have to play, I guess, one semifinal, and then the championship game is a neutral site. So they do get their home field advantage for this game, but I guess make a good point. 1 versus 2, aside from getting a shield, doesn't really hold a whole lot of difference. Rodriguez putting some pressure on Emily Van Egmond, who, of course, scored that crucial equalizer for San Diego last week. This will run all the way through.
I think Kaylee Reel did very well to deal with Sophia Smith there in that situation. Just bodies her up ever so slightly. It's a completely clean challenge there, but it's just enough to throw Smith off of her run.
I mentioned just the one change for San Diego coming into play here today. Of course, the big absence for Portland, who still is available off the bench, Christine Sinclair, the first time in Thorns history that she has not started a playoff game. Of course, she's played in all 10 Portland playoff games in their history. See if she can make an impact as this game goes on. Reel gets it back for Sheridan. Reel and Germa are going to have their hands full today with Sophia Smith at the top of that Portland formation. Now it's Coffey. This off to the far side. Morgan Weaver. Cross comes in, dealt with by Reel and cleared away.
Morgan Weaver is so dangerous down that left side. I don't think she sends in the right service there, but it's the right idea. They have to continue to see if they can get the ball at her feet, because she is such a dynamic player on the wing and can send in some very dangerous crosses.
Again, Weaver meets that ball. It was deflected out of play. It's the game's first corner kick. It comes for Portland 4 minutes in.
She's so talented on those crosses. Gets in behind. I think Reel does very well to get the deflection there to force that to be a corner kick, because there was 2 wide open Portland players on that back post. But an excellent opportunity here for Portland to get the game's first clear opportunity.
Klingenberg lofts this in towards the penalty spot. It was Yasmin Ryan who was attacking it. This one will fall out of play.
The ball was sent in a little bit far back from that 6-yard box, which is like the sweet spot where you want to send the ball in. Yasmin Ryan does well, though, to get on the end of it and make some sort of contact on the ball. Just wasn't going to be the right contact to get a shot with where the ball was and how she had to reroute her run.
See San Diego trying to play out from the back. Of course, last week that's what got them in trouble. That was the only goal that they conceded, a mistake at the back with Kaylin Sheridan, leading to the only Chicago goal of the day. And here's Jakobsen getting it into her right foot, but the shot is dragged just wide.
It's not a bad look from Jakobsen here. She picks the ball up and attacks on the dribble, and then she makes just enough space from the defender to be able to have a shot. Early on in the game, you want to try to test the keeper. You want to see if you can push your luck a little bit, so I don't mind that look at all.
There's a look at Casey Stoney in the San Diego technical area, who said she was just immensely proud of her team's performance against Chicago on Sunday, late into the night on that Sunday night in San Diego. A great crowd, a record crowd for a playoff match, over 26,000 fans in attendance at Snapdragon Stadium. That'll be a fun place to watch a game in coming years in the NWSL, no doubt about it. She learned that this team has a lot of grit. They really had to fight for that one. It was not easy against a very stingy Red Star side. They were able to come away with the victory, and it helps when you have the Golden Boot winner in Alex Morgan scoring the game winner in extra time. Here is the aforementioned Morgan. Absorbs some contact, is taken on the volley, and Bixby can watch this bounce out of play.
Morgan just getting tangled up there ever so slightly, maybe a little bit of a roll of the ankle, but it's a good chance created from San Diego. They have done very well with their build-up play, working down the side, get a nice service in. Morgan does well to keep possession, turns it over a bit, but a nice shot from Van Egmond there. Wasn't really going to be too challenging on the frame, but it's a good opportunity. It's a tough volley shot. Again, San Diego creating some really solid opportunities early on.
Just trying to ask some questions of this Portland back line. It's always so interesting to see how these top seeds fare after the quarterfinal bye. Remember, you go back to last year, it was both of these teams, Portland and OL Reign. They both lost to Washington and to Chicago in this round. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare here today with all of that time off. And of course, the international break also mixed into that break as well. But of course, what all these players have been going through both on and off the field over this last month. Ryan Wilkinson said, honestly, I don't want to have that much time off, but maybe it was needed this time around. And we'll see how they can fare here today getting back to soccer. As Morgan sends the cross in, and the header is in! Taylor Korniak scores! She beats Portland again! It's her 4th goal against the Thorns this year, and San Diego leads 1-0.
Korniak must have Portland's number because the majority of her goals this season have come against Portland. Morgan does so well here to keep possession, gets her head up and sees Korniak. Korniak backpedals to create the space. The defenders don't track her as she's backpedaling back, and it's that movement that opens her wide up from the center backs, and Morgan delivers it beautifully to her, to where all Korniak has to do is just put her head on it, and it's going to go in the back of the net. A beautiful finish from the Wave.
How about that? Just as we were talking about what would the response be from Portland after all that time off, well, the team that is in form finds the goal in the 8th minute, Taylor Korniak. But now looking for an immediate response to the Thorns. So far this year, San Diego's now scored 7 goals against Portland. Taylor Korniak has scored 4 of them. And if you remember, going back to earlier this season, she came off the bench in one instance for a corner kick. Immediately she scored on that corner kick, and now a chance to respond right back as this shot is dragged just wide. Weaver and Smith are in there for Portland. We were talking before the game, we could see a lot of goals in this one. It's starting off pretty hot.
These are 2 teams that are very capable of scoring goals, but they're also 2 teams that don't concede a whole lot. And so you cannot count this Portland team out. As you see there, it's a nice shot from Weaver. She takes it off her chest and volleys it beautifully. But one thing that Portland has struggled with this season is coming back when they've gone down. They haven't done very well when they have to fight back into games. And so it's going to be a real true test for them this evening, is how are they able to respond to going down early.
Korniak, just what a season it has been for her. Of course, the 3rd pick in the 2020 draft from out of Colorado, acquired though from Orlando in January, and she has just been such a big player for this San Diego team in their expansion year. Of course, the first expansion team to ever make it to the playoffs, so whatever they do in these playoffs, San Diego is part of history. And Korniak may not get the same plaudits as Alex Morgan, just based on Morgan's career, what she's been able to accomplish this year as well, but almost just as important to this team is Taylor Korniak, no doubt about it.
Well, Korniak's one of those players that does a lot of behind-the-scenes work that sets up players like Alex Morgan to have the type of season that Morgan has had so far. Korniak is a pivotal piece in the midfield. She's a playmaker, she's a distributor, and so sometimes she's not going to get her name on the goal scoring sheet or on the cross sheet, but she has just been such a huge impact. 6'1", great in the air, great with her feet. She's a fun player to watch.
I remember talking with assistant coach Rich Gunny earlier this year about Taylor Korniak, and he was saying, well, of course everybody wants to pick her out because she's great on set pieces. We'll get to that in a minute as Kuika comes in. That cross blocked down, and it's Korniak to carry it out, but he was trying to say that she's a good technical player as well. They want to play through her in the midfield, and she's not just a target on set pieces, although that's a big part of her game as well.
I mean, what an advantage to have a player that you can put in that is a target on set pieces, so good in the air, but then has the foot skills to also be your go-to player in the middle of the pitch.
No doubt seen that. There's another look at another one on the other side, and what a breakout season it's been for Sam Coffey as well. Earning her first 3 U.S. Women's National Team caps, and Maureen Wilkinson saying there's captains of the U.S. Women's National Team and of the Canadian Women's National Team on this team, and she said Sam Coffey's not afraid to raise her voice and to speak out, be vocal. That's something that she didn't necessarily think that she'd get with Coffey this year, but she has just burst onto the scene, no doubt.
Well, in the position that Coffey plays, that kind of holding midfield in the middle of the field, you need somebody who's going to be a leader and who's not afraid to speak up, and she has definitely proven that this year. She is a very confident player and a very skillful player as well.
Comes Portland again with Weaver. Weaver, and right into Rocky Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to weave through. So fall for Kuika. Now it's Yasmin Ryan. Cross into the middle, headed right into the air. Still not cleared. Rodriguez, Klingenberg saved. Sheridan got down to her right. A really fine stop there.
Portland is a little scrappy in here, but they're able to pull it out and swing it out wide. Ryan sends in a good ball, nicely dealt with by Real, but it's not dealt with well enough, so they're able to get that rebound shot here. Klingenberg does so well to stay over it and redirect that onto frame. A very nice save from Sheridan, but I love the numbers that Portland is putting into their attack. There are so many players in and around that box looking to find the ball, looking for a rebound or some sort of way to create an opportunity.
They will not go down without a fight. There's no doubt about it. Yasmin Ryan taking off the ball this time. Usually when teams concede that first goal, it doesn't really go their way in terms of record. Portland 1-3-3 when conceding that first goal, but all time in the playoffs, Portland is 2-5 when conceding that first goal, and to even have a couple of wins in a playoff game when you concede that first goal is pretty impressive. That speaks to this team has been able to do, and one of those comeback wins was in 2013, which is of course when they won their first NWSL title.
It's not easy to ever fight back in a game, but especially in a playoff game, because the pressure, you're nervous, all of that plays into it, especially when you're at home. I think that will help them though, being at home. That will help lift them through, especially if it stays within one and the game goes on. The fans are really going to be a key factor in helping lift Portland to get that equalizer.
Here's Hubley. Kuika for Ryan. Kuika gets it right back. Coffey. Hubley surveying the scene again. Here's Ryan. Kuika, Jakobsen stepped.
San Diego's doing very well with their defensive shape. They're moving well as a unit, which is making it tough for Portland to play those penetrative passes, forcing Portland to have to go around the outsides, and it's not going to be as dangerous. So San Diego really staying solid defensively.
Sauerbrunn. Having a tough time penetrating the San Diego defense at the moment. Here's Kuika. Rodriguez finds Ryan. The pass just behind Kuika.
The last couple of times Portland has tried to play it into the middle of the field, the pass has been off, and it's allowed San Diego to be able to pick up possession. San Diego just hasn't been able to push out of that shape too much because of the Portland pressure, but Portland has to clean up that combination play as they look to build through the middle of the field if they want to be able to build a solid attack.
Hubley commits the foul, and it's a free kick coming for the Wave here in the attacking third.
Jakobsen does so well to settle this and looks to split the two defenders. Hubley just takes her out instead of going for the ball. It's a professional foul there, because if she doesn't foul there, then Jakobsen's going to be in behind that back line running right at the keeper. So a great set piece opportunity though for the Wave to be able to whip a ball in and see if they can find Korniak there, or see if they can use her as a decoy run for another player to run off of.
See all the attention right around Korniak there. As McNabb and Van Egmond talk things over here. This will be McNabb to take. Curling it in. Looks like Morgan got her head on that just to flick it through. Now it's cleared away.
Looks like the set piece was designed to find Alex Morgan there and have her flick it onto the back post to a trailing runner. Ball was just a little bit high for Morgan to be able to get the right contact.
Foul there, and this looks like the game's first yellow card, and that's a significant one, as it is Kaylee Reel who has her name taken.
Reel knew exactly what she was doing there. Just pulls her back because she knows that her team is all pushed forward from that set piece. Professional foul there, but it's really going to set up a tough game now for Reel. Being one of the two center backs for the Wave, she has to be very smart with her play.
And of course, San Diego down one of their big stars in Abby Dahlkemper, who is out for the season. It is Reel who has stepped in, and it was actually Kaylee Reel who scored San Diego's first ever goal in the Challenge Cup earlier this year against Angel City. Flicked along. Zukita's cross. This is headed out of play. It's another corner kick coming for Portland as they keep the pressure on, looking for that equalizer.
Portland is not going to slow down, sending in a great cross there, forcing Reel again to have to make a last-ditch effort save to be able to keep it from getting in front of goal to the Portland runners. You got to imagine one of these is going to sneak through.
Cross comes in. Hubley was trying to crash it, ran right into Korniak. Zukita again serves, and this time Korniak's able to get it away. Another shot comes on! Oh my, what a goal! Rocky Rodriguez, top corner, the equalizer for Portland.
I'm almost speechless at that shot. What an incredible finish from Rocky Rodriguez there. It comes off this set piece. It's a nice ball in, but again, San Diego not able to clear it out all the way. Sugita does well to send it back in, but this touch and the volley, absolutely perfect. That is not easy to do, and Rodriguez makes it look effortless. It's a beautiful strike to that far post. Nothing Sheridan could do about it. What a finish.
Sometimes you just got to tip your cap. And if you're San Diego, that's exactly what you do there. We are back to square one. It is 1-1, and I don't think you could have asked for a more exciting first 21 minutes. This has been some special stuff.
When this game doesn't feel like it's about to slow down at all, or we're about to just have a drought of goals either, with the way both of these teams are playing and the way both of these teams are in form in the final third and how sharp they've been.
Of course, this Portland team set a new club record for goals in a single season with 49. That was the third most ever in an NWSL regular season. It is interesting, this Portland team, they played 5 home playoff games in their history. They have a losing record of 2-3. There's Jaden Shaw, Alex Morgan, cross right in front, and it's saved by Bixby, late run by Korniak. And it was nearly the go-ahead goal for San Diego.
Korniak wanting another one here. Morgan does well. She's completely wide open on this left side of the field. She has time to take her touch. She sees Korniak making that back post run and sends in a nice ball in between that goalkeeper and the back line. The low pass makes it really difficult for defenders to defend that, and Korniak comes in, but it's really nicely dealt with from Sauerbrunn there to get the challenge and challenge Korniak on that one, or it could be 2-1.
Here's Weaver. Weaver gets to the end line, tries to cut it back. That was last off of Weaver after pinballing around. It's going to be a goal kick, but she's been pretty dynamic on that left side for Portland.
She's so good on that left side, and she does so well to beat her defender, to get in line, get her head up, and get those services in. She hasn't been able to really connect on many of her services so far this game, but it's just a matter of time for her because she is persistent with it.
You look at all of the goal scorers for this Portland side, the likes of Christine Sinclair, Sophia Smith. It's Morgan Weaver who's the second leading goal scorer with 7 goals. She only scored 1 in the regular season last year. She went through a nice stretch in July and into August as well. And she has really carried that throughout this season. Remember, she scored the game-winning penalty to win the Challenge Cup last year against Gotham. Jakobsen, touched out of play by Kuika. Looked like it may have deflected off of Jakobsen last. Morgan feeling the contact and going down. Free kick to San Diego. She's already taken some bumps in this game.
Portland is definitely letting her know that they're not going to let her touch the ball freely when she has her back to goal, especially there. Good good check back though from Morgan to be able to come back and get the ball, but when she comes back to get the ball, there have to be players underneath to support, so she has a quick, easy option to lay it off, and then they can continue to advance the ball forward. Nice hard hit though.
That was.
Ooh, that's going to leave a mark.
It's Van Egmond who stands over it, flipping this forward. There is Morgan. This is coming and into side netting and out for a goal kick.
That's a tough area for a set piece because it's really hard to be able to send in a service for a header on. You usually have to play it towards one of your sidelines like they did there to find Morgan, and Morgan does well to handle that and be able to get contact on it, but it's always going to be difficult because you're running away from goal. You usually have the defenders coming over with you. It's just not the most ideal location for a set piece.
Seems like this game, no pun intended, has kind of gone in waves in that both teams have had their opportunities, and here's another one. It's Sophia Smith, and it's saved. Sheridan. What an opportunity that was for Portland. That first touch just let Smith down.
Well, Oh, and we cannot discount the effort there from Sheridan to come up and completely eliminate the angle. It's a poor back pass, and Weaver does very well to pick that up, and she releases it nicely to Smith. Smith's touch just gets caught up underneath her, and so she's trying to turn her body to catch up with the ball while also trying to get the shot off, and Sheridan comes out hard, fast, and strong to be able to cut off that opportunity. But Portland, man, close there. San Diego cannot be given the ball away, especially when you have attackers like Weaver and Smith up top.
Those are two attacking players always ready to pounce. Then on the other side, you have Yasmin Ryan, of course, who leads this team in assists with 5. Bixby gets this one away. Wilkinson said during the time off that they did have a training match, just an inter-squad scrimmage to try to work on some tactics, some partnerships, but she said obviously you can't replicate what you get in an NWSL match. Just trying to keep this team sharp, and maybe it took them a few minutes to get up to speed, conceding that early goal, but they have responded quite nicely.
Well, you can try to create as many game-like situations in practice by having scrimmages or what have you, but it's never going to be like a game whatsoever. No matter what you do, no matter how many times the stipulations, oh, you're down 1-0, you have to fight back, it's never going to compare to a game. And so it is going to take Portland a second to get those cobwebs off because they haven't played as recently. But I think that they've began to settle into this match, and they've really started to grow offensively.
Here's Shaw. Cuts it infield for Van Egmond, who will take a shot on, and pretty straightforward there for Bella Bixby.
A little ambitious there from Van Egmond. I think it's too far out to really have a solid go at it, and I think you have too many talented pieces up top that you can use to build a little bit stronger attack.
He's got to be feeling some of that confidence from last week scoring that goal. Foul there on Jaden Shaw. Here's Smith. Ahead for Morgan Weaver. Tried to center that ball. It may have come off of her last again, and it did. It's out for a goal kick.
I love how quickly Portland transitions from defense to offense. There they're able to find Sophia Smith in a very good area of the field. She picks it up right in that pocket space between the back line and the midfield and is able to attack on the dribble. I think it was the right idea to play Weaver. I just don't think she pulled it wide enough for Weaver. If she pulls it a little bit wider, Weaver's going to be able to either take a touch or send it in one time before she gets too close to that end line.
Korniak flicks this along. Kuika out for a throw. Couple of firsts in this game already, both Taylor Korniak and, of course, Rocky Rodriguez scoring their first playoff goals. Coffey distributing from that midfield position, a sliding challenge by Westfall. This one will run out of play. Of course, the former Portland Thorn, Kristen Westfall.
It was an incredible through ball, though, from Sam Coffey to be able to release Weaver out wide there.
Minutes gone, and what a first 30 minutes this has been in the first of 2 NWSL semifinals. Next one up will go up the road to Seattle. OL Reign playing host to the Kansas City Current. They're hoping for a club record crowd there as well.
I think it's incredible how the fans have shown up for this tournament, both quarterfinals setting records. in this game already you can see that the stands are full and the fans are loud.
Call it Soccer City, USA for a reason here in Portland. They always come out to support it. Such a great venue here at Providence Park. Moved out wide. It's back infield for Shaw. Shaw was cut off by Klingenberg. Somehow Shaw got a cross away, and it did take a deflection out for a San Diego corner kick.
Yeah, I'm really not sure how Shaw was able to keep the ball there, but she does very well and to get a cross off with 3 Portland defenders around her and earn this corner kick. Very talented on the ball there, and sticks with it, continues to fight, and sure enough, yes, she is able to get the cross and deflect it off of a defender.
This ball's driven in. Yasmin Ryan trying to clear it out of harm's way there. It's tightrope walking that end line. It does stay in play. San Diego will try to retrieve this. Westfall able to keep it for the Wave. Options in the middle include Korniak. Shaw, though, couldn't weave through that double team. It's turned over, and it's Alex Morgan. Not the player you want to turn it over to in that position. She's forced out wide, and now it's Jakobsen. Jakobsen shot blocked down by Kuika. Another cross into the back post. Kuika taking no chances, and out for another San Diego corner kick. And now it seems like it swung back to San Diego here.
It's just the pendulum going both directions there, and Portland the one having trouble getting out of the back, making some really bad mistakes with those passes, turning it over there at the top of the box, allowing San Diego to just come at them time after time after time. Portland's got to figure out a way to clear the ball out so they can clear their lines and push out of this defensive third.
Crowd comes to their feet as this one is on top of the net. A lot of traffic. Like some pushing and shoving in there as well, as Bixby ended up on the ground.
I think Shaw's gonna be a little disappointed for both of those set pieces. The first corner kick pulling it too far out, and that one just pushing it too far in. I think they're trying to say that there was an elbow to Bixby's face. I don't see one.
Oh, it was at the end there to
end there where she's trying to trip over, yeah. I feel like there's really not a whole lot Korniak could have done in that situation. And I think that's what the ref is saying. You just have to be careful. But
is Bixby getting treated right now by the training staff.
And that was the keeper that just came over to check on her to make sure she was okay. I don't know if you all know, that was Sheridan who came over. You saw the pink jersey, so Sheridan running the distance of the field to check on the keeper, Bixby. Keepers got to look out for each other.
No doubt. Keeper union. Chance for a team talk here. Ian Wilkinson, and coaching staff as well. Mike Norris was leading the team talk there. As Bixby back on her feet.
Glad to see that she's okay, because it would be really unfortunate for Portland to have to make a change early on, especially to a goalkeeper, that critical role.
It's right there at the end. You could see that stray arm from Korniak, and Bixby just got caught up in some traffic there.
Tempers are starting to flare, though. It's starting to get a little bit chippy. It's going to be
playoff game.
Exactly. Finish the first half strong. You can only imagine what the second half is going to be like if this thing stays tied 1-1.
Would you want any different?
No, not at all. I'm all here for this.
10 minutes to go in the first half.
The people at home might not be as calm and collected with it, though. Might be a little bit stressful watching your team tied up in the playoffs, but it's definitely going to be a fun game.
Smith again running at this back line. Sophia Smith. Through ball just a bit too overcooked, and it's taken by Caitlin Sheridan. Looked like there was a bit of a collision there after the play. Rodriguez
there. Smith had the right idea, just did not play the right pass here. And Rodriguez just going in to pressure it, and nothing malicious here or anything. Sheridan just standing up, and Rodriguez didn't stop at all. Immediately Sheridan goes over to make sure she's okay. Like I said, it's starting to heat up.
Sauerbrunn got to touch onto that. Trying to keep this in play, not able to throw into San Diego.
She does well, though, to not let it go out as a corner and leaves it as a throw-in.
Now the flag up for offside is Alex Morgan going to get back on side and has some words for the AR.
And really, that's kind of poor from Morgan there. She can see the entire back line of Portland. She has to be able to recognize that they have kept a higher line, forcing her offside. So it's very smart from Portland, but Morgan just has to be better to recognize that.
She was in a lot of space there as she tried to flick it along. Now it's Yasmin Ryan.
I wonder if she didn't know how open she was, because I imagine if she knew that there wasn't anyone around her, if she would have tried to settle it.
This is turned over again. Shot, trying to return it to Morgan. And that pass was off the mark as Sauerbrunn stepped in once again.
Shaw had time there. I'm not sure why she decided to play it through to Morgan, who had two defenders around her. I'd like to see Shaw maybe try to continue on with it.
Sheridan picking out Jakobsen.
Both teams defensively are perfectly content with their opponent just playing the ball through the back line. They're more focused on setting that defensive shape and really eliminating any passes through the middle of the field. They're wanting the other team to play across that back line, not really go anywhere with their possession. Then they're going to turn them over the minute they try to cut inside.
There's Van Egmond. All the way back to Sheridan. Distribution again. Big collision there. Yasmin Ryan barreling through the San Diego player, and a yellow card is given to Yasmin Ryan for a clumsy challenge there. Nab sitting up now.
Yeah, and I think Ryan just lost sight of the ball in the air and didn't even see McNabb standing there. As you could see, she was looking, trying to track the ball, just lost sight of it and did not see McNabb, so ran her over a little bit. Unfortunate, though, to get that yellow card, but it's definitely deserving of a yellow card.
McNabb, who is featured in all but one match this year in all competitions for San Diego. Coming over from OL Reign, where she's been since 2017 in the expansion draft. It's been a physical match both ways. A couple of yellow cards have been handed out as well.
Actually fewer fouls than I would have expected in a semifinal game. I think while it has been a very physical game, the players have been very smart about it, and I feel like the ref has done very nice with keeping control of the match as well.
We talk about Portland being at home, and maybe in home playoff games, not the record you necessarily want to see, 2 wins, 3 losses, but over their last 22 games, they've lost just 4 games here. They're tied for the most home goals with 27, and conceded the second fewest goals at home with just 8. It's over the last 22 here at home. That's some impressive numbers that they have put up, but one of those 4 losses last year in the playoffs to Chicago. It's Jakobsen. They connect with Shaw. Just off the mark. Here come the Thorns. Rodriguez. Go right through the middle. She was taken off the ball, and here comes San Diego now.
I feel like Portland there needed to be quicker in transition. They had an advantage with their numbers. They just needed to push out a little bit faster so they could catch the wave in a numbers up situation.
Gurma. Lofted forward. Morgan got her head to it. Tried to head it back centrally. Nobody was there in a white shirt. And now it's Van Egmond. Here's the cross looking for Morgan. Bouncing around. And Hubley sweeps it away.
Portland has done so well to manage Alex Morgan so far in this match. They have not given her any clean opportunities there. Both of those headers that Morgan had on those 2 plays were challenged and was not easy for her to be able to get contact on it. Morgan's got to figure out a way that she can maybe have a little bit of movement before the ball comes to create enough space so she can get on the ball and be a little bit more successful.
Klingenberg turns it back and finds Hina Sugita. Sauerbrunn. Again lofted forward, it's headed back centrally. Out of play, a throw-in into the final minute of this first half. We'll see what there is for stoppage time.
San Diego sitting so compact there in their defensive shape. It's really tough for Portland to be able to break them down. They're having to try to force it down the side or play these big over-the-top balls, which San Diego's able to pick up on.
Here's Alex Morgan. Morgan running in. And by Sauerbrunn, trying to cut it back. It's out for a corner kick.
Very good patient defending there from Sauerbrunn to force Morgan out to that side, even though it is on her favored left foot. Sauerbrunn stayed tight, stayed consistent with her pressure, forcing Morgan so far out that there was nothing she could really do.
It's 3 minutes of stoppage time added on. Again, the 17-year-old Jaden Shaw. Sending this in again to the back post. Flicked along and saved off the post. Bixby diving to her left and pushing that off the post to keep it out.
What a save there from Bixby. And that's such a reaction save too, because she did not have a lot of time to be able to see the ball coming. But what a great opportunity from San Diego.
Locked down, and now maybe a chance for Portland to get out if they could go quickly. Striding forward again. Right at Girma, the shot blocked down. We got her body in the way. Another cross sent in, bouncing, and this one pushed aside. Or maybe not, it just bounces right out of play. Give us a chance to look at that Bella Bixby save.
And it's Korniak again getting on the end of that set piece, this time with a volley. She makes excellent contact, and again, what a save from Bella Bixby. Just that one hand pushing it wide. Great play. And the sun in her eyes, it looks like, too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sometimes you see goalkeepers bring out the baseball hat.
Baseball hat, get the paint, the black paint under the eyes, too.
Whatever helps, but the sun is right in her eyes, and maybe that'll be a cause for concern for Caitlin Sheridan in the second half. Floating it forward. Sugita circling back. Next with Bixby. Right through the middle again. This one touched out of play. Maybe one more chance here for the Thorns if they can go quickly. And at the minimum of 3 minutes. To the referee now, it's Coffey. Header to clear it away. There is the final whistle. Oh, what a first 45 minutes that was. San Diego strikes first and Portland responds.
Such an exciting first half and filled with chances. These are two teams that are so dangerous offensively, and this game was played in waves, and it's a matter of, are you able to capitalize when your team has the momentum going their way?
So we have reached halftime here from Providence Park in Portland. Through 45 minutes is the Thorns 1 and Wave 1. Stay with us. We'll be back with the second half in just a few minutes. The teams coming back out onto the field for the second 45 minutes of action here from Providence Park in Portland. What a first 45 minutes it was. And as we look back at our first half with our halftime stats, it was San Diego who got that opening goal. It was Portland who responded, but this has been about as good as you could ask for.
I mean, it's been such an incredible game. Super even. Both teams having momentum going their way, creating goal-scoring opportunities, but then it turning in the other direction and them having to defend quite a bit. It's really been back and forth, and honestly, either team could run away with this one.
And of course, extra time could be on the horizon if we stay level, but at the moment, we have 45 minutes to find out if we will play a little bit longer. And it has been an exciting game so far. With Casey Whitfield, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for joining us. Some more words of encouragement before this second half gets underway. For the San Diego side, this was a team that was losing last week, and they had no wins on the season when they were losing at halftime. They did get their first one last week, but here today, of course, a level scoreline, pretty much starting this second half as we started the first. No substitutions for either side. Teams will switch ends, and as we noted, of course, it was the sun in the eyes of the goalkeeper. That was Bella Bixby in the first half. Now it'll be Kaylin Sheridan. And we get this second half underway from Portland. A trip to the 2022 NWSL Championship is on the line here today. Will it be Portland trying to capture their third NWSL title? Or will it be an expansion team to make it to the final for the first time ever? This is the first time that an expansion team has ever made it to the playoffs. And this San Diego team trying to continue to make some history. Do they have a little bit left in them here today? Of course, going 120 minutes last week. And I think this second half could prove to see really how fit they are even through this entire season.
I mean, even though you have a week off, that's still a lot of minutes on your body, and it's tough minutes. It's constantly going, and Portland didn't have that. Yes, they tried to scrimmage, they played against each other, but it's not the same. They might not have been able to or had to go 110%, whereas San Diego did, so it's definitely going to be a big test for San Diego to see those fitness levels, see how they were able to recover.
Whistle. This will go San Diego's way. I felt like in that first half it was kind of a game of runs. San Diego started off, and then it was Portland who had their chances. Then it was San Diego who tried to find the go-ahead goal, but this has been a great back and forth game. Very easy on the eye, especially from a neutral perspective.
I mean, both teams having their moments, like you said, and it's really going to come down to what team's going to make the mistake that allows the other team to score, because both of these teams are so talented, they're so strong offensively and defensively, that it's going to come down to somebody ultimately making a mistake and giving up that goal.
There were only 3 points that separated these two teams in the regular season, and all these games between these two sides so close. San Diego won 2-1 against Portland, but both of those losses came in the Challenge Cup. That was still when this team was in its infancy. It was a 2-2 home draw and then a 2-0 road win back at the end of August for San Diego here in Portland. I think part of that confidence in this San Diego side is they've been there and they've done that, but they won't get the clean sheet here today. Along by Korniak. Morgan. Back to your point on those small details in a game such as this, when you have two finishers like Sophia Smith and Alex Morgan, you only need maybe one or two chances for either of them to really put this away. And of course, we've already seen Sophia Smith have a great opportunity. Just when Alex Morgan will get one of the same.
Yeah, those are both players that when they get in around that goal, they are so lethal, and it just takes one chance. And while Sophia Smith had an opportunity, it kind of fumbled underneath her feet a little bit. I don't think that was her clear and obvious opportunity there. And Alex Morgan has been guarded so tightly, she hasn't been able to breathe without somebody being on her. And so she has to figure out a way to create a little bit more space for herself, so that way she's able to get one of those looks in front of goal.
Sophia Smith, 14 goals this year. Alex Morgan now up to 16, but 15 in the regular season. It's enough to bring home the golden boot for Alex Morgan. Assist for Alex Morgan on the Korniak goal was her second career playoff assist, and the first since the 2013 championship game. Of course, that was with the Thorns. It's lofted forward, looking for Smith. Real with the header, and now it's Korniak. Jakobsen is played in behind. Jakobsen trying to turn the corner. Good work there by Kuika on the far side. Again, it's headed forward. Korniak couldn't get there. She looks to be hobbled now by something, Korniak. She's been battling some fitness. We asked Casey Stoney about her this week, and she said she's just battling on, trying to put up good performances for the team week in, week out, and she's no doubt has done that here today with a goal.
Player like that is not going to let a little tweak put her on the sideline, especially in a match like this.
Now here come the Thorns again. More pressure being put on Girma. Eventually the whistle will come. Sophia Smith and Naomi Girma going head-to-head. Of course, the former Stanford teammates in college.
Girma does very well here, though, to put herself between Smith and the ball, and then continues to keep possession of the ball. Sophia Smith just being a little bit of a pest there, trying to get around a little bit too aggressive on that challenge, and Girma does very, very well to stick with it and position herself perfectly.
Another big collision there in the middle, and that's Korniak going down. See Kelly Hubley, if you can read lips. What did I do? Well, you put Korniak on the turf.
And then she goes, that's crazy. So it's just a matter of figuring out. She obviously doesn't think she had much contact there, but from the looks of it, Korniak went down pretty hard with this challenge. And you can see, yes, she gets the ball, but she leaves her leg extended out there, and that is a foul on Korniak. The ref was right there, he saw it, but I understand where she's coming from with what did I do.
Well, if you get the ball as a player, you're always saying, hey, I got the ball.
You never fouled, you got the ball.
Correct.
Doesn't matter if you ran the player over or anything, you got the ball.
This is floated forward again. Korniak was up for it, and it's taken in by Bixby.
Bixby does well to stay with that ball and track it, because she had Morgan making the run onto it there. If she's not able to get on the end of it, you got to imagine Alex Morgan is going to make you pay from that distance.
Weaver cuts this one back. Real gets it away. For handball, it's waved away. It's Hina Sugita. Sugita, cross blocked down. It's out for a corner.
I love how Portland Portland commits so many numbers forward and allows them to have a lot of combination play, a lot of quick little passes to open up pockets of space for their teammates and to create really solid opportunities. They just haven't been sharp enough yet on their crosses during the run of play.
Everybody crowding right in that 6-yard box. Here comes the service. Actually, Van Egmond gets it away. Lofted back in again. Sheridan's able to make the catch. Even with her face right into the sun.
It's not a bad idea to send the ball in like that, but you had a player out wide. Why not try to connect to feet there and then see if you can send in a little bit more solid service there instead of just lumping a hopeful ball inside the 18-yard box.
Sheridan gets this one away. It's immediately turned over. Yasmin Ryan running in. Options to pick out in the middle. It's still Ryan. Rolls it across. Kick save by Sheridan.
That high pressure from Portland allowed them to turn the ball over in a very favorable spot on the field. Ryan does very well to pick it up on the side and attack quickly on the dribble. Very nice reaction kick save from Sheridan, though, to keep that from getting through to Sophia Smith.
We were talking at halftime about how Portland's really been able to turn that corner quite a few times, but haven't really been able to make San Diego pay for it as of yet. Now it's Smith running in. Sophia Smith, and this one is out of play.
Portland's so dangerous on the wings, and they have such talented players with Ryan and Weaver out there, and players that like to get in line, like to get around the outside and cut it back for a cross. San Diego has just done very well with dealing with those crosses and reading the service and eliminating any sort of threat, but you gotta imagine that Weaver and Ryan are gonna begin to be able to break some of those crosses through that first line of San Diego pressure.
Ian Wilkinson was talking about, she said, almost every goal we've scored this year is a direct correlation to the defense really converging on Sophia Smith and all the attention that she takes away. It's allowed some other players to score some goals, including Morgan Weaver, who carries it forward. Rodriguez now for Yasmin Ryan. Weaver's calling for it. Weaver nearly got there, if not for Gurma stepping in.
And you can see Portland starting to change up their runs a little bit before they would run closer to the goal there. Weaver pulling her run back ever so slightly into an open pocket of space in the box.
Here's Smith again. Sophia Smith. See all those white shirts converging on her as she comes in. Extra attention to number 9 in black.
She's definitely one you have to keep your eye on, but like you were saying, when they collapse to her, that means somebody else is open, and I think Portland has done very well with utilizing that open player and that open player stepping up when it's their turn, when their name is being called.
This one touched out of play, and a corner kick for the Thorns.
Quite a bit of pressure here. You gotta imagine that they're gonna try to work up some sort of trick set piece at some point, because you can't send every ball into the box. Could this be that one play?
Comes the corner again. Couldn't get it by the first player. Coffee. The cross lofted in. Rodriguez trying to win that second ball, and does. Sugita for Weaver. Weaver tries to stand it up to the back post. Again, Rodriguez. This time, a bit off balance. Trying to make the same contact she did in the first half.
Well, I like how Rodriguez recognized on that first service in that she was not going to be able to win that header. So instead of going up and trying to challenge it, she drops back to get the second ball, and it's a very smart play. But Portland really being able to recycle their offense, move the ball around, and try different ways to attack. That's what's allowed them to continue to come at San Diego with different looks. Now it just comes down to being a little bit sharper.
Out of play. Maybe getting our first sub of the game right here. Looks like that'll be the end of the day for the 17-year-old Jaden Shaw. And oncoming will be Mackenzie Doniak, who of course was part of the Chicago Red Stars team last year that took down this Portland team here in this same round in the semifinals. Now Doniak will come on for the final half hour and potentially a full hour if this goes extra time.
I think Jaden Shaw had a very good game. I don't think she was really able to showcase her ability. She never really got a true opportunity out on the wing, but being able to bring Doniak in, bring in some fresh legs, some fresh energy.
From the Thorns again, it's Smith. Sophia Smith right down the chute and right at Sheridan.
Nice idea there, a good opportunity created from Sophia Smith. I just think it's going to be very difficult to beat Sheridan from this distance. But I like the area where she picks the ball up and she's in between the midfield and the back line, and that's what's allowed her to be wide open, but just a little bit slow on the draw there for the shot.
Casey Stoney. Ball did stay in play. Sheridan just getting this away. Somewhat a repeat of last week.
Too aggressive on that challenge, trying to come back and defend, but swipes in and gets the feet there. Van Egmond.
Van Egmond again. Flicked into the middle. Jakobsen couldn't get there quick enough. It's Queek instead.
Not with many options there. All of the options were sort of running away from the ball. Nobody was checking to and providing a short build-up play option. When you're transitioning out of the back, you have to have somebody check to, because that's going to pull a defender with you and maybe then open up that longer pass that you ultimately want to play.
Will be a substitution, and probably one we expected at some point. It will be Rocky Rodriguez coming off the field. It will be Crystal Dunn coming on. A sub in 4 of the last 5 games in the regular season. Crystal Dunn was coming back from maternity leave. And what can she bring to this game as Smith earns Portland a corner kick, but this is the first game in the playoffs for Crystal Dunn with Portland. Of course, coming over after a couple of seasons with North Carolina.
Excited to see Crystal Dunn out there, but she's got some big shoes to fill because Rocky Rodriguez had an incredible game. That goal, I mean, I still can't get that goal out of my mind. It was such an incredible finish. But Dunn's going to be able to bring in some speed into the middle of the field and also just some veteran leadership.
This corner kick floated in. Trying to attack it. Did enough to keep this alive for the Thorns. Klingenberg puts this in. Sheridan holds onto it. Evade her own teammate just to get to it.
Sheridan has done very well on those services and coming up big when her team needs her. They're coming off her line, coming to get that ball. Even though her teammate is there, she comes and commands her box.
It's headed down. Doniak to the end line. Doniak's cross looking for Korniak. His last stop, number 22, and out for a goal kick.
Korniak again putting herself in very dangerous situations inside the box there to be able to get on the end of these crosses. Nothing she could really do in that situation with her back to goal, 2 defenders on her. I think she made the most of the situation, but San Diego has to provide a little more support to their players when they are in those types of situations so they can recycle their offense and not turn the ball over.
Smith going to keep it. Korniak now for San Diego.
Definitely starting to open up. You can see how San Diego in the first half, their defensive structure was so tight and compressed. Here they're a little more spread out. They're trying to press a little bit higher up the field to see if they can shape Portland into where they want them to go. Portland has to see if they can utilize some of that space in the middle of the field, have a little bit more movement between their midfield 3 so they can break down San Diego's defensive structure.
Here's Crystal Dunn. Dunn will take the shot on. It's a pretty straightforward save for Caitlin Sheridan. Crystal Dunn trying to make an impact off the bench, which has been her role since coming back.
And again, I don't mind these shots from distance, but you're not going to beat a keeper like Sheridan from distance very easily. It's going to have to be a spectacular shot. So I would like to maybe see if Portland can work the ball a little bit more. Maybe there have Sophia Smith make a run off the ball to slip through, or some sort of dynamic movement up top to get the back line moving and get you a little bit stronger of an opportunity.
So you're saying the only thing that'll beat Caitlin Sheridan is what Rocky Rodriguez did in the first half?
I mean, you're not the starting goalkeeper for these teams if you're not an incredible keeper.
Correct.
And it's going to take either them making a mistake is how it's going to happen, or an incredible shot from distance. So yeah, basically just shoot it like Rocky Rodriguez did and you're good to go.
That was one of the goals of the season. There's no doubt about it. High degree of difficulty. And now the player down here for San Diego, and this is Alex Morgan, who is on the turf. And this is a cause for concern, no doubt, for San Diego. She's taken some bumps and bruises in this game. We hope that she's doing all right here. Remember, she missed the international window on the big U.S. versus England game a couple of weeks ago due to a knee injury. And you wonder if this is the same thing that is bothering her here. She was going ahead there with Becky Sauerbrunn, and an awkward fall there.
And they're definitely taking a look at that left leg, at the left knee to make sure she's okay. Hopefully she just took a step weird and she felt something weird in it and wanted to get it looked at, and she'll be okay to continue on, because it'd be really unfortunate if you lose Alex Morgan in this game, because she hasn't had her moment yet. She hasn't had a clear look on goal or a clear opportunity. So hopefully just a little bit of a scare for her and she'll be okay and ready to go.
I think it's going to take a lot to take her out of this game.
I mean, I completely agree. She's so competitive and she brings such a fighting mindset that it's going to take a whole lot to get her out. And I feel like there are several players out there that we could say the same thing about. This game means so much. They know what's on the line, and these players are incredible and willing to do whatever it takes to get their team to the finals.
There's no way at this point in the season everybody's 100%. Everybody's picked up knocks along the ways. It's been a long, arduous season. Of course, starting with the Challenge Cup all the way back in March. And here we are in mid-October. Played in behind. Girma. Such a play, it seems like well beyond her years. She is slotted into that center back position this year for San Diego, and she's playing like a veteran.
She never looks stressed out there. It's always just so calm, cool, collected, like just there. She never looked like she was straining to get to the ball. It was just a nice, easy clearance away to earn the goal kick there.
Just the 5th #1 pick to start a playoff game in her rookie year. It's Morgan who is down again for San Diego, as she is really taking some punishment here from the Thorns this afternoon. And it's Kelly Hubley who will now go into the book for Portland. It's going to be persistent infringement now.
You would have to think, because it's not a complete vicious foul by any means, but there have been a few where the ref has talked to her about it. The one where she said, "What did I do?" It's definitely for persistent fouling.
Hubley has her name taken. And Egmond and McNabb, the ones who stand around this set piece. This will be Emily Van Egmond to serve. Able to get this out. Girma finds Jakobsen. Doniak, she turned the corner. The cross took a deflection. A corner kick for San Diego. 20 minutes to go in regulation.
The momentum has really been a lot of Portland in this second half. Is it going to start to shift San Diego's way? A nicely taken set piece, but I don't think it was a service that she wanted. Didn't find the target there, but San Diego did well to win back that ball to be able to recycle their offense and earn the corner kick.
It's lofted in, looking for Morgan. Maybe a chance to hit this from distance. McNabb just sends it airborne. Real. Taken in by Bella Bixby.
Some interesting shots. I don't know if I would call it shots there from the top of the 18-yard box. Both players really leaning back and not striking through the ball to get power on it.
There's Weaver. Now it falls for Dunn. Back for Weaver. San Diego gets this away. We'll see if they count that last effort as a shot for San Diego, but if not, just one shot in this half so far for the Wave. Smith. They go off of last. It was last off of Sophia Smith.
Sophia Smith there again, just a little bit of a poor touch, forces her to have to maybe make a move that she didn't want to do, leading ultimately to the goal kick. Feeling a few opportunities that she's had, her touch has been off ever so slightly, just has to sharpen it up a little bit as she gets inside that 18-yard box.
Klingenberg. Breedy. Morgan on the turn. Sophia Jakobsen fires it across. She'll get it right back. Jakobsen again, headed away. San Diego throw-in.
Both teams have been extremely strong on services into the box. Both teams done very well with keeping track of the runners and really eliminating the service from really reaching inside the middle of the box there.
Westfall gets end line, tries to stand this up, it's straight out of play.
Right idea. She just doesn't get her hips all the way around that ball, which is why it ends up going out of bounds. But San Diego doing a much better job of locking the ball into the final third.
Now some concern here for Bella Bixby.
Wondering if it's something from the challenge early on in that first half when they were checking her for a concussion. Maybe she tried to continue on in the match and it just has not gone very well, but it's going to force a big decision for Portland here if she's not able to continue.
Abby Smith is the backup goalkeeper, made 2 appearances in the Challenge Cup, made no regular season appearances, and if you remember that game against Angel City at the beginning of the international window, it was a bit of a COVID outbreak here for this Portland team, and they were down a few goalkeepers, and it was actually Shelby Hogan, who was not on the bench today. She's the 3rd string keeper who got the start that day because Abby Smith and Bella Bixby were out for that game. So Abby Smith has no appearances in the regular season. She might be called into action here if Bixby cannot continue.
It's also going to force Portland to think, do they maybe need to make a few more substitutions if they're forced to sub, because they will only have 1 substitution window left in regular time. So are they going to maybe think of changing a few other players around, or what's going to happen? But it's a great opportunity for both coaches to really be able to work with their team. There's minutes left, 15 minutes left in regulation. What kind of changes can they make, tweaks? What's those things they're seeing on the sideline to push their team beyond?
Looks like Bixby is good enough to continue.
Portland's definitely going to be having the thoughts on if this does go to penalties, is she going to be at 100% to be able to stop those penalty kicks, or would it be smarter to sub her out?
Not to consider. Still 15 more minutes to go.
I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions, though.
It's up to Reen Wilkinson
Exactly.
and Casey Stoney.
They've got their work cut out for them, definitely.
We're into these last 15 minutes now, and it's interesting with San Diego. Scored 11 goals in the last 15 minutes and stoppage time. So far this season, that is more than double of any other 15-minute segment. So they have scored some late goals. They have been there and done that. Can they do it again when it really counts here in the playoffs? It's going to be a foul, a turnover. Substitution coming. It is Janine Becky. She will be coming on to replace Yasmin Ryan. Becky, who of course came over from Manchester City. Her first year with the Portland Thorns after a couple years with Houston and 1 year with, at the time, Sky Blue, now Gotham. It's in 2018, but has been with this team for most of the regular season and has been a big contributor as well.
It also brings an opportunity to get some fresh energy on that right side there where Yasmin Ryan was. Ryan did so well getting around the outside, working it down the sideline to get those crosses in. Hopefully Becky can come in with some outside perspective, because when you're on the bench, you're able to see the game in a whole different perspective. You see the things that the players on the field miss or whatever, and so you're able to kind of learn. And so as you come into the game, you already have a feel for it. So hopefully she'll be able to come in and just have an immediate impact.
Here's Morgan. Now Korniak turns it back. Jakobsen. Space closed down so quickly, and Weaver sweeps it away.
Portland did so well to recover back into their shape that when Morgan got the ball, there was nowhere for her to go.
And now it's Morgan Weaver. Morgan Weaver saved. What a ball that was from Sophia Smith to pick out the run of Weaver. She couldn't get enough power behind the shot.
Such good vision on the ball from Sophia Smith there. Gets her head up and is able to pick it out. But it's a great transition moment for Portland. And what a run from Morgan Weaver, too, to make that all the way across the field run. She lets it go across her body, I think a second too long. She takes a hesitation step. If she hits it, instead of taking that step, I think she might have a better look on frame.
Jakobsen, Korniak, it'll fall for Doniak, twice blocked down. Seems both of these teams just getting a little bit closer to finding that go-ahead goal. Van Egmond, good depth on this one. It'll fall for Korniak. This alive. McNabb fell down.
Both teams getting a little closer, but both defenses stepping up to the challenge. Like I said earlier, it's going to come down to somebody making a mistake, somebody losing focus for just a split second.
Doniak, this one bouncing into the middle. Got the last touch on that one. It's passed off of Belle Breedy.
Good late run, though, from Breedy into the box. Those late runs can sometimes be the most dangerous ones because they'll come in unmarked. So Breedy does well to come in on it. Just never really is going to be able to make the proper contact that she wanted with that pressure that she had.
Minutes to go. Klingenberg on the move for Portland. Sliding this forward. Done! Locked down. Cleared away.
Great movement off the ball from Crystal Dunn to make the diagonal run in behind to create the space there. But again, San Diego's back line on those services doing so well to not even allow them across the box.
Another look at this move from Portland.
It's this run from Crystal Dunn right in between the center backs there through the back line. Germa does really well, though, to recover back and come over and apply immediate pressure.
It is Kelsey Turnbow coming onto the field for Sophia Jakobsen. That was the lone change into the starting lineup for Casey Stoney in San Diego. Turnbow, who has featured in all but one game this year. Big part of what San Diego's done here in her rookie year. Was drafted by Chicago in 2021, but stayed an extra year at Santa Clara. Won a title in college, and her rights were traded to San Diego. It's a rookie season here at the Wave. Wins in the playoffs. This Portland team might surprise you. Few and far between. They're looking for their first playoff win since 2018. Again, here's Weaver. Cutting it back, it's done. Closed down quickly, Coffey. Referee says all ball, and play continues on with Klingenberg.
Ultimately, it's just too many touches in that box there. Dunn has to take that first time if she's going to have a shot, because the minute that ball is coming across, San Diego is recovering and filling those gaps, cutting off the angle, so it has to just be quicker in the box.
Germa went to ground, it's Smith, and her cross taken by Sheridan.
And Germa, even though she doesn't win the ball in that situation, She forces Sophia Smith to have to make a cross that she doesn't want to, and that's easy for her keeper to be able to pick up and save.
Challenge put in by Klingenberg. Where's this going to go? Throw it to Portland. She wants to go quick. Smith. Right into Kelly Real. Wanted a foul. Referee didn't give.
And again, Smith's touch there on the turn there wasn't the cleanest. She's able to continue on with the ball, but if she has a clean touch at a turn, she's going to be taking Real on one-on-one instead of Real stepping in, cleaning up the turn on that challenge.
Coffee for Smith. Sugita. It's Crystal Dunn. Stands it up to the back post. Headed in front and taken by Sheridan. She tipped it up to herself and was able to keep it.
And if she doesn't get that tip on the ball, I don't think she's able to make that save. It's a good header back across the goal face. But if Sheridan doesn't get the touch, here we can see the service from Dunn. A great header. If she doesn't get that touch, though, it's going to fall to the Portland player for an easy tap-in.
And now it's Weaver. Brings this one down, and Sheridan another save. Sophia Smith inching closer to a goal.
A beautiful layoff, though, from Weaver to set up that really nice one-time shot. So here, good, easy layoff. Smith makes great contact on it, but just isn't able to put it in the back of the net. You gotta imagine, though, it's coming closer for her.
She's just knocking on the door at the moment. You can feel the tension. It's all you'd want in a semifinal. Seems like Portland has grown into this game and is really rising to the occasion now at this point. These 3 NWSL semifinals have ever gone to extra time. Portland has been in 2 of them.
This is the moment of the game, the last 5 as you're leading in to stoppage time, where you begin to get a little bit antsy. You know that you need to get a goal. It can oftentimes force your mind to kind of drift a little bit and maybe lose focus ever so slightly, and that's exactly what these teams cannot do. They have to stay locked in for these final few minutes.
Klingenberg just able to keep that in or not. That ball did go out of play. It was close. Didn't get her foot onto it quick enough.
Definitely a close one there. The whole ball has to cross the line, and as you can see there, you can see green on the other side of that white line before you see the ball, so it definitely was out of bounds.
Smith holding play up, finding space on the far side. Shot taken from distance, and Kuika fires this well out of play.
Kuika just doesn't stay over top of that ball, leaning back ever so slightly when she has that shot, so the ball is never going to go down on target. Again, it's those shots from distance. That's all that San Diego is really allowing them to have, though, so credit to San Diego. But Portland has to see if they can figure out a way to maybe work the ball a little bit more to get a better look, a better angle on a shot.
Look at shots in this second half. 6 for Portland, 5 for San Diego. San Diego, no shots on target to Portland's 4. And yet, not really a big difference in expected goals in the second half either. This has been about as even as a game as you could have asked for. 2 versus 3. It's rolled in behind. Kuika. It's Weaver! And it's over the bar. A free header from inside the penalty spot. What a great chance that was for the Thorns.
It's this through ball here that is absolutely beautiful that releases Kuika, and Kuika sends in a nice ball. Weaver, though, just gets underneath it, doesn't get over top of the ball, and because she's under it, it's always going to be going up. She's going to want that one back because that was a clear, obvious goal for her.
Coffey regains possession for Portland. Closing in on the 90th minute, and we'll see how much stoppage time there is. Portland, though, they want to win it in the 90 minutes. Smith. Klingenberg. For Weaver. Just keeps this alive. Morgan Weaver gets end line, cuts it back. Cleared away as far as Klingenberg. Right back into the middle and taken by Sheridan.
Weaver finally able to get that cross through, and it was a really good one. Her team just almost on the same page. She does so well to save it here. And then like she's been doing all game, just drives inline, sends a nice ball there. Sugita was so close, but man, the tide is just going towards Portland.
Talked about big crowds last week. 26,000 in San Diego, 21,000 in Houston. How about 22,000? 35 here today. As we get 4 minutes of stoppage time, so it's second on the list in terms of attendance in the playoffs. And here's Crystal Dunn. To give these 22,000 something to celebrate late on. It's cut across. Is this the chance for Portland? Sugita lifts this out of play.
I mean, how incredible, though. In all 3 matches, though, record-breaking attendances. So incredible. Portland, again, another great chance here, building. They're just knocking at the door. Weaver getting around, sending a nice cross in. Kuika does well to lay it off here, and Sugita just completely lifts it over. I feel like she might have had a better look at maybe trying to lift it to the back post, back to where Morgan Weaver was, to try to recycle the offense instead of trying to go for a shot there.
Sliding challenge. But it looked like the flag was up for offside first, so this will go Portland's way. Won't make that challenge feel any better or worse, though, for Alex Morgan.
No, but I think Portland a little fortunate there because Sugita came with a pretty nasty challenge there on Morgan. But again, a great opportunity for Portland to be able to build back going forward. They have so much momentum going their way. Now they have to utilize that as they get into the final third.
Smith for Dunn. Crystal Dunn back for Sophia Smith. Smith locked down. Corner kick Portland.
Good opportunity there from Sophia Smith, trying to send it low to that far post, forcing San Diego again to have to interfere with it.
It's the 6th corner kick of the game. What an atmosphere here at Providence Park. An in-swinger towards Sheridan. It's Crystal Dunn! It's a winner for Portland!
We joked about her when she came in having to fill the shoes of Rocky Rodriguez, and I think she absolutely did. Such a pure strike. What an incredible moment for her. It's a great service in, and San Diego doesn't clear it all the way. Dunn just comes in and rips it. Perfect technique on this. Perfect finish. Nothing Sheridan could do. What a goal.
Giving the 22,000 here at Providence Park something to celebrate. What a year this has been for Crystal Dunn. Coming back after maternity leave this year, scoring her first NWSL goal since May of 2021. And that is one to savor. That just shows you the type of player that Crystal Dunn is. She's come back to the field so quickly and has been eased back into getting back onto the field, but her 5th appearance of the season in the regular season and the playoffs, and that should be a winner. And now Casey Stoney throwing on as many attackers as possible. Amira Ali will be coming on for Kristen Westphal. Will also be Madison Pogarsh coming on for Taylor Korniak. Is there anything left in this game for San Diego? What a heartbreaking way to end the season this will be for Casey Stoney in the Wave. But you can't fault the 2 goals. 2 absolute firecrackers.
I mean, 2 highlight reel, top play goals for Portland tonight. San Diego doing whatever they can, but they're going to definitely run out of time here soon, because there's maybe only a minute, 90 seconds most after the play restarted left in this match.
And now Crystal Dunn, the pressure paying off, and this is a foul against Real, and that might take this one to the finish line.
Real just spending too much time on the ball. She has to be quicker with her decision making, knowing that time is ticking away. She has to try to send the ball forward as best as she can.
And a substitution here. It is Christine Sinclair coming onto the field to replace Sophia Smith. Her 11th playoff game, one of 4 players with double-digit playoff appearances. You could bring a player like Christine Sinclair off the bench and a Crystal Dunn off the bench. It just shows you the depth of this Portland team. And it looks like they'll be moving on to the final.
I think that's a very smart substitution, because Sinclair's going to bring you a bigger presence up top, more of a target. So as San Diego's pressing forward, pushing forward to try to get back into this, Sinclair's going to be able to hold the ball up very well for you up top.
Can't be much time left now. Well past the minimum of 4 minutes. Morgan was fouled, and now Kaylin Sheridan will come up to take this set piece just inside their defensive half. This has got to be it for San Diego. Sheridan sweeps her foot through it. Is there one last chance? There is not. There is the final whistle. A come-from-behind effort for the Portland Thorns, and they are going to the NWSL Championship.
I don't think we could have asked for a better game. This was such a tough, fought-out battle. San Diego played incredible, but really it just came down to not being able to create as many solid scoring opportunities. Portland was relentless in this match, and 2 goals that are sure going to be up for goals of the year or top goals of this season or the playoffs. But what a moment, though, for Crystal Dunn to get that game winner.
Just an incredible afternoon of soccer here in Portland. An incredible season comes to a close for the San Diego Wave. And that'll do it for our coverage here this afternoon. For our entire crew, broadcast partner Casey Whitfield, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. Portland is moving on to the final. 2-1 winners over San Diego. Good night from Portland.